Long ago in the quiet town of Folks Hollow, there lived a young maiden named Elara. She was radiant, with vibrant green eyes and hair as golden as the sun. She was known for her beautiful voice, outshining even the nightingale's sweetest lulls. Elara was beloved throughout the town, not just for her beauty and voice, but for her kindness too. Yet, she held a secret so dark that none dared to believe it. Elara could see the unseen, the spirits that wandered, forever lost between the world of the living and the dead. But Elara knew what she saw. She knew what she could do. She could speak to the spirits, soothe their wrath, and help them find their peace. It was her gift, her curse, and she bore it with grace. Yet, this story isn't about Elara's conversations with oblivion, but rather about a promise made and a promise kept. You see, the spirit realm was governed by an old ghost known as Ancient Arlen. Arlen's reign was wise and fair, but he had become weak over the centuries. On an evening as ordinary as any other, Arlen visited Elara. Elara, compassionate as she was, accepted his plea. Arlen gifted her an amulet, a medium through which her soulful voice could reach the deepest corners of the spirit realm and soothe the born unrest. Elara promised to sing every night until peace returned. And so she did. Every night, Elara's lullabies swept across the town of Folks Hollow. The rumbling storms would quiet, the howling winds would dim, and for a moment, the world would seem a little less chaotic. However, the townsfolk, oblivious to her nightly vigil, began to grow resentful of her seclusion. They muttered among themselves. Such hurtful words polluted Folks Hollow, but Elara couldn't explain, and so she quietly bore the blame. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but peace in the spirit realm was still a distant dream. The continuous singing began to take a toll on Elara. She grew weaker with every passing day, her vibrant eyes dimming, her golden hair losing its shine. Yet Elara didn't stop. She continued to sing, her voice still as enchanting as ever. Then one fateful night it happened. A dark calamity hit the spirit realm, thrashing and tearing apart the ethereal world. The amulet drew all of Elara's strength, amplifying her voice to banish the beast. As her final note echoed, a peaceful quiet fell, but at a great cost. Elara had sung her last song. The next morning, Folks Hollow awoke to the tragic news. Elara was no more. Grief washed over the townsfolk like a never-ending tide. Their resentment seemed petty and unjust in the face of their loss. However, a strange tranquility had fallen over Folks Hollow. The torrential rains had ceased, and the cruel winds had calmed. They noted a strange but comforting presence, as if Elara herself was there, watching over them. Ancient Arlen appeared to the heartbroken people, finally revealing Elara's secret and her sacrifice. She had been their protector, their unthanked hero, their undying song. Guilt and gratitude filled their hearts, replacing the resentment. From that day forward, Elara was remembered as the guardian of Folks Hollow. A simple tombstone couldn't encapsulate her sacrifice. Instead, every night in her memory, the townsfolk would sing, their voices echoing through the silent night, a fitting tribute to their beautiful nightingale. And so, this tale of a promise, a courageous heart, and an undying song lives on, echoing through the generations, across the forever whispering winds of time, and in the quiet hollowness of a town once known as Folks Hollow.